Hi everyone. This is my first video that I'm gonna do on this channel. We are currently during the COVID-19 time, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do a easy, if you have a sewing machine, obviously it's gonna be easy, but patterns and everything will be easy if I show you guys what pattern is specifically used for an adult size and a child size. For face mask, these are the fabrics I have, and then these are the ones that I already had cut out. There will be a top layer and a bottom layer, so there will be a top layer for the adult, and then there's a lining, which is the bottom layer for an adult. So if you guys can tell, the only difference is an inch. You guys will see why that inch is there. There's also the child top layer, and then a lining for the child. I will show you guys how to make one. Obviously I already had cut out some fabric, but I will show you guys how to do one by one. You are going to need pins to pin these down to the fabric, a ruler if you need one, safety pins to bring down the elastic, and I will show you guys how to do that when we get to it. Two different types of paper scissors and fabric scissors. You cannot combine these for the same thing. So fabric scissors, paper scissors. If you guys use the fabric scissors on paper, you're gonna dull them up, and then when it comes to cutting fabric, it's not gonna work anymore. And whatever fabric you guys would like to use. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can always use a needle, and then I might upload a video on how to do that later, but first we will do the sewing machine one first. If you do decide to do this, I can show you guys later on how to do it. And thread, it's optional. You can get a if you want to iron and make the fabric flat, you can always use an iron to iron the fabric. My little office is right here in my living room, so that's why everything is very tidy up here. But just keep watching the video and I will show you guys how to do everything. So what I'm going to do is try to see how many I can fit in this. So I can probably do, this is the reason why I have multiple pattern pieces. So you can print out one and do one by one, but I am very I want to make sure I can get as much as I can pinned down, so I'm not cutting one by one. I usually do it like this. And then probably get it a little more closer to the edge so I can save some fabric. So I want to use up as much as I can with this fabric, since these are going to be the top of the face mask. The bottom part I already had cut it out, so what you're going to do is just pin this down, and I will show you guys how to do that. I usually use 2 pins. Some people use just one, or some people use multiple. I usually use 2, and then just get the edges. So this edge right here, and then that edge right there. I will show you guys how I did that in just a minute. So to make it easier for me to cut down the pattern pieces, I want to go ahead and iron this part of the fabric, and just so it can give it more of a crisp look. Then I want to go ahead and cut that piece of fabric so it can be easier for me to pin down the pattern pieces. Okay, So the pattern is a little different than the one I was cutting up, but here you want to put right sides together and you want to try to match them as close as you can. You want to go ahead and match them, and you want to stitch quarter seam allowance. So usually I don't start from the top because it's really hard to start from the tip of this corner for beginners. So I usually would, if you're a beginner, I would start from the bottom. And you want to go ahead and start with a quarter seam allowance. I don't have a quarter seam allowance guidance on this sewing machine, so I'm just gonna use this tip right here. And then you just want to go ahead and put it in there. And then you want to start 3 forward, and then you want to back stitch 3 times. Okay, so this is what I have. I did 3 forward, 3 back, 3 forward, 3 back. So you just want to secure that seam. So you just want to stitch all the way down and then just secure it with back stitching. And then you want to go ahead and open it up and then leave it like that. And then you have your lining piece. Remember, your lining is going to be 1 inch shorter on both ends. So we want to do the same thing here. Stitch from there all the way down here. So now that you have your lining and then your printed fabric done, the top part, you want to go ahead and open these up. And then open this one up. And then you can either iron them to give it more of a cleaner look, or you can just press them down. Give me a second, like this, and then with your finger press it down all the way down, all across it. But in my position, I'm just gonna go ahead and iron them because I already have the iron out here. So and then just keep on watching. Now it's done. I have these two. Then you'll want to go ahead and match these. So remember, this is going to be 1 inch shorter on this right side, and then on the left side it's going to be shorter as well. So now what you want to go ahead and do is stitch from this corner all the way down, and then after that stitch from this corner all the way down. Remember, keep the 1 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that's going to help you not have too much of a bulk inside when you want to turn it inside out. So what I'm going to do is try to match it as clean as I can. Pin it down, pin it from the center, match these 2 centers, go ahead and pin it down. You don't want to pin it up too far, so otherwise you're going to have problems with the pins when you're using it through the sewing machine. And then I'm going to pin it on this side, and then yeah, just keep on watching.
You tear me up, up, and you fix me up, all for fun. You tear me up, up, then you fix me up, all for fun. The games that you play, you're making me sway.
So I'm just trying to show you guys an easier way of rotating the fabric without having to lift up the needle. All you want to do is just bring the needle down and lift up the footer at the corner, and then all you have to do is just rotate the fabric, and I'll show you guys how to do it right here. As you can see, I am just lifting up the footer and bringing it back down and rotating the fabric. So this is the outcome. You just want to go ahead and cut the extra seams. Same thing in the back, and then we're just going to go ahead and turn this inside out. So I went ahead and I re-ironed this out to make it look more like a clean, give it a cleaner look. Then you want to go ahead and fold this 1/4 of an inch and then 1/2 inch in, and just go ahead and use the iron just because it works a lot better, believe it or not. So then I went ahead and then I did 3 stitches down, back stitch, 3 down, and then again. So in this case I'm gonna top stitch, so my guidance is gonna be this little thing right here. Then I want to go ahead and stitch all the way down and back stitch 3 and then down. So right here, since I was not able to work with the safety pin, I used a bobby pin. What I did was bring in half of the elastic through the bobby pin and then bring in the bobby pin through that little hole of the face mask. And all I really did was just push it out. Now what I'm gonna do is grab those 2 ends, grab my needle and my thread, and sew it together. So I'm gonna use my needle and my thread, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do this manually. So not on a sewing machine because it makes it harder, especially if you're a beginner. And bring it down. You're not going to see this part, so you don't have to make it look very fancy. So you're just going to go ahead and sew it. I usually do 3 in each side, so 3 on top and 3 on bottom. And now you don't have to worry about the extra thread because you will be cutting that off. Now 3 on the bottom.
Déjame una vez, te perdono. Déjame otra vez, no te conozco. Yo te di todo. Déjame sola hoy en la mañana. Déjame para allá, se va la gana. Yo te di todo. Siempre me dices que me amas, pero siempre en la cama. Cuando digo que te amo, sé que no te vale nada. No me juegues como ajedrez. Siempre me dices que me amas, pero siempre en la cama. Cuando
And then what you're gonna do, bring this down. So you're not gonna see that part. And sometimes it does get a little tight in there, but you can bring it down. And then there you go. And you do the same thing on the other side. So my boyfriend's here to be your guys' model. This is what it looks like. And that's the outcome. I hope you guys I hope I was helpful with the instructions. If you guys have any comments, just go ahead and let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys and those who've been pushing me on Instagram to start doing my DIY videos. I know I have been slacking, but I am taking advantage of right now with the COVID-19, and I hope I can continue with these. These are face masks. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment. I will try to reply to you as soon as I can. This is my first video, so I'm sorry for like the bad editing. I really appreciate your guys' support. Please like and subscribe and share. I will try my best to keep up to date with more DIY videos. I have so many things I have been doing around my house that will definitely be a good DIY video. And I really appreciate everyone's support and those who have been pushing me to make this video. I really love this DIY thing, and thank you for everyone who has been supporting me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.